There we go.
Buckle up. In the net, in the boat. That's a good fish.
That's a good fish. Not the target species, but will not complain with that guy. He is a cracking big flathead.
Hey folks, out on the water here this morning with Declan Williams. We have had a lot of rain. The water is chocolate brown. So we're going to grind it out today and see if we can get ourselves a few fish, starting on some rubble patches. Stay tuned for plenty of tips and techniques, fishing soft plastics around different types of structure. Fish on. Yeah. Oh,
Little Trevor.
Little Trev, that's all right. Bit of fun. If I hold him close enough to the camera, he'll look all right. There you go. Nice trevally. Righto, always got to get a little fella to start the session. That's cool though. If those guys are around on top of here, we might get a little bit of pelagic activity later. And it's just lots of sand. Keep going sand flat.
There we go.
Buckle up.
On the rock, you reckon?
Yeah, a little bit of a move. We were throwing a few casts off the structure a bit. Back on the structure, fish on.
Big Brimbo. He is a cracking
Got
Brim.
net under him.
Oh, he's right.
Oh, that's a tank.
Big Brim, he
Beautiful.
smashed that PrawnZ Elite. Got him down there for a snapper, but that guy's had no problem munching that thing. Just ate it on the drop. Those little legs would have been vibrating on the way down. That guy's nailed it. All right, pop that hook out. We'll chuck this guy back in and we'll see if we can get a little snapper.
That's a cracker Bream.
Yeah.
That's one thing about fishing structure like this. You never know what you're going to get, a mixed bag of species for sure. So a Brimbo, we'll see if we can change up and catch something a bit different.
Oh,
Fish on.
big Trevor. We're GT popping out here on the Great Barrier Reef.
On.
It's got a little trevally there. We're always in this dirty water, finding all the bait. These are little big eyes, so they're all in there, all different species in there together. Pop that hook out, he's shredded that tail a bit, but still good to go for another one. Pop him back in. Trevally are just here.
That's a big snapper right here.
Oh,
Well, you're having some fun anyway.
oh, some might say.
I'll put a 2.5 inch prawns on, send that out there. Plenty of prawns around. See if we can talk something into eating. There's got to be something bigger in amongst them, eh?
There we go. Just a little Brimbo.
Oh,
All sorts of things are gathered out here. That dirty water will push everything out to the fronts of these rivers, and everything's out here feeding on all the bait that's come out.
yep, yep. Just
There
some
we
of your
go.
little mates, they're on fire up here. There's a ton of them. Put the little prawn on, he loved it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's got to be bigger ones out there. Yeah, there we go.
Little head shake there. What do you got? Little trevally.
Another one. Trevally Alley.
I just wanted to cast somewhere that wasn't so snaggy.
Bit bigger?
Yeah, nice Brimbo again.
Brimbo. Beautiful.
And amongst all the stuff down there. They're pretty angry in this dirty water. That guy's eating a 1/4 ounce jighead. 4-inch curly tail there.
Well,
There we go, that's a better
hey,
fish.
Buckle up. Moved into a little bit deeper water.
This thing feels weird.
Onto the rubble. Net. Where's the net guy?
Oh, it's a big flathead. Big
Where's
flathead.
the net guy?
That is a big flathead. Nice big flathead. Not what you expect out here, but I'll take him. Not very organised this morning with the net, but
on the net.
we'll be right. Oh, it's a big flathead.
These rubble patches hold the bait.
Yep.
And then where there's bait, you're going to find all sorts of predators, including these big flat guys.
Yeah.
In the net, in the boat. That's a good fish.
That's a good fish. Not the target species, but will not complain with that guy. He is a cracking big flathead. Got his
That
head.
is a crack fish. That's a pretty good little session already this morning.
Yeah.
We caught a million little trevally, good fun. Caught a handful of bream, and now an absolute cracker flatty.
Yeah.
He has inhaled that.
Yeah, he's absolutely smashed that little curly tail there. That is all the way down his throat.
That's one of your favourites, that one, hey? 4-inch streak curly tail. What jighead are you on there?
Just a quarter 3/0. But yeah, he's absolutely smashed that thing. Beautiful flathead. Nice light colours on him. He's living right out the front of this river mouth on these rocks. Beautiful fish. Right, so lucky we had that 15-pound leader on there. It's pretty rasped up. We'll pop that hook out and get this big girl back.
And that curl tail on the drop, hey, whether
Yeah.
it's sinking down or whether you're hopping it on the bottom, even if it's just sitting on the bottom, that tail gets up, waves around.
We'll get this big girl back. There she goes.
Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful couple of battle scars. We'll be right. I'll retie that later and we'll get back in there. Right, so we've had a lot of rain lately. So a lot of that fresh water will push those fish out of the rivers where they're normally living. And a good place to find them is to look around the mouths of these estuaries and try and find some isolated structure. We've looked on the sounder here and just found some rocks out the front of this estuary. And that's where a lot of these fish are holding. All of the bait's pushed out. All of the fish are out here trying to get away from the fresh. So we'll probably focus our efforts a lot on the fronts of these estuaries today. We'll get stuck into it.
But his wire.
Oh,
Oh, you missed him.
and then still, hey, that's a good bream.
He just picked it up on the paws.
Good bream.
Picked it up on the paws. That was beautiful. I'm just fishing a 2.5-inch prawns on the shallow water. So again, with that rain and all that dirty water, we're fishing the mouth of the system. All the bait pushes out to the mouth of the system after rain, and the fish will follow out into the mouth of the system. So there you go, that's a nice
Beautiful bream.
handful of bream. We are in how much water do you reckon, Deck?
Oh, just over a foot, I'd say.
Yeah, foot of water. Doesn't take much water to hold the bream up on the flats. Oh, come on, mate. That was beautiful. Great fun in shallow water. I love shallow water, plastics fishing. Handful of bream, 2.5-inch prawns in opening night. We're fishing them up in the water column. There's not a lot of water depth here. So the flash in that prawn is great for attracting their attention and getting the eat up on the flats. There you go. On that bloodworm head, 1/8 ounce in a 1/0. So there you go, that's pretty cool. Even though the water's dirty, we're doing what we can to find the fish. So getting out to the mouths of those systems, trying to find some bait, and in turn, find a few fish. Just fishing these flats towards the mouth of the system. Right, I'll get this hook out and we'll get him back in the water. See you, buddy. Fish on. All right, we're right up in the shallows here. We're picking pockets right up in the shallow water. It's a foot deep. The motor's up. We're on the electric and just kind of using the wind to push through here. Fishing light heads, 1/8 ounce head. Big long cast with the wind to cover water. And we're just hopping and shaking that plastic up in the water column. And that time I gave it a bit of a pause and he picked it up off the bottom and ate it. So worth mixing your retrieve up between that twitchy retrieve, shaky retrieve, and those few pauses and hops on the bottom.
There we go. Right up in that little bit deeper spot next to the mangroves there, next to the rocks. Another nice bream.
Got a net under him?
We'll see.
Oh, he's a good fish.
Yeah, I'll let him. You carry on there because I've got a bite straight away.
I just got a bit enthusiastic on the rocks.
Bit enthusiastic on the rocks. Oh. It's fun catching stuff in shallow water, doesn't matter how big they are. Beautiful little bream. He just nips that little 2.5 inch grub and that's pinned him through the nose there.
Pretty cool fun in such shallow water.
Yeah, beautiful little fish. Oh, chuck him back. Have you got your thing off here?
Yep, I'm off.
We'll carry on drifting through here. Right, so we just got that rock running down. Bit of run out tide. We'll cast up to the front of the rock there. It's just a pretty quick retrieve in this, about a foot of water. A little bit of a wiggle, pause, and just waiting for that fish to bite it on that pause. Oh, there he is, missed him. Pull that plastic down, put that over and cast back in there.
Oh, he's a little tack of that one. Just that shaky retrieve, a couple of taps, and that is what you'll get.
Look at the bream getting
fish from that size to giant.
Bream eating the prawn right there. Oh, got to go, Justin. I've got weed on.
Somewhere there.
That's him right there. There we go.
Buckle up.
Nice big brimbo on the flats. He's a good fish.
A net under him?
Yeah, might as well. We've had to... Oh, he smashed that. That is all the way down his throat. So we've run out of water up on those rocks. So we've just drifted out a little bit. And this guy's just on this flat here. We're just making long casts with the wind. And he has absolutely nailed that. Right, there we go. Little grub. Chuck him back.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
There's your Dewey.
Get up off the bottom, buddy. Come on.
Oh, it might be snapper, eh? Yeah. Good head shakes. Oh, well, everything lives out the front of these little rivers.
Yeah, fish in the mouth of the system, looking for that bit cleaner water, looking for the bait. There's a lot of bait hanging around the boat. Just drop that little drop kickers down there, 2.75 inch drop kickers, 1/4 ounce head, big long cast, and just let the water push us back.
Nice little squire. Beautiful fish.
Nice little pinky.
Oh well, tried to find those guys this morning, we couldn't, but we'll take that one.
Beautiful. 1/4 ounce 1/0 and that 2.75 inch drop kickers. Beautiful little snapper. So there you go. If you've had a lot of rain and the water's dirty, get out near the mouths of those creeks, mouths of those estuaries. We're looking for bait. That guy was in about 6 meters of water on some rubble. We'll get that jig head out and we'll send him back so you guys can get stuck into it.
I got distracted. I thought, oi.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pocket rocket.
Well,
come here, buddy. Oh, righto. All right, just a pocket rocket on the swims, but yeah, we've had a pretty good morning. We went out and hit some rubble patches early out towards the mouth of the system, a bunch of little trevs and stuff and bream, and got ourselves a snapper in deeper water. Now on our way home, we're just stopping to hit a bit of a shallow edge and see if we can find a flatty. That's a little guy to kick us off. We'll see if we can get a better one, and then we'll head for home. So all that fishing we've done this morning was out at the mouth of the system. We've come back in a bit now. The tide's just on the last to run out, and then it's going to push in. But what we've tried to find is a bit cleaner water. And this bank's got a little bit cleaner water on it. So in the background there, you might be able to see the color changes where it moves from weed to sand to weed and back to sand again. We're sort of picking the pockets in the weed and fishing the edge, just hopping the plastic out. And hopefully in that cleaner water, we can see what's going on in there. So hopefully the fish can see our presentations. Fish on. We're fishing paddle tails, curl tails, lots of movement in the tail of that plastic to put vibration out there and help those fish to find that presentation, and also adding scent to help them zone in on it, and then hopefully when they eat it, they hang on. A lot of bait.
There we go.
On.
And he came back for it. Oh yeah.
Not a little tacker, but aggressive.
Oh, there he goes.
Quick release.
Had a bite on that cast before, so I just did that same cast again and he came back for it. Fix that plastic up and carry on.
Yeah, right up in the shallows.
Wow, that is right up in there.
Right up in there, yeah. Oh, actually has a bit of weight to it, that one. I think I might be happy with this one.
I might have to grab a net.
He's not too bad. Oh, get your head down, get your head down. When you're fighting those flatties, try and keep that head underwater so they don't get that shake going. Or just steer him up and into the net here.
Lovely little guy.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's pretty good. So we've got those couple of smaller ones to start with. And then we've got a pan-sized fish right up in that shallow water. So I'm just flicking the nice little 2.5 inch slimmy, one of my favourites. 2.5 inch slimmy, 1/4 ounce 1/0. And those flatties love it. That allows me to fish the shallows and still get down on those drop-offs in 2 to 3 metres of water. But I can get that rod tip up and hop it in no water. And he was right up on that edge in no water. Up there hassling the bait on the start of the running tide. That looks like a tag deck.
Is it? That definitely is a tag. That'll be interesting to see.
Have a look at the tag on this one, write that tag number down and we'll report it there. You can see that tag's been in for a while. There's a fair bit of growth on there, so it'll be interesting to see the return results on this tagged fish. So we'll quickly sort this guy out, get that tag number, and then we'll get it back in the water. Buckle up. Absolutely.
There we go. Right up in the shallows.
Right where he should be.
Right where he should have been, with a bit of bait.
How's he feel? A bit better?
Yeah, he's not a bad little flatty.
That might wrap us up. Nice pan size flatty to finish.
Beautiful
That
little
water is horrendously brown.
Glad you got that net.
Oh, you come off?
Yeah, came off. He's only just lip hooked. Been a lot of short strikes today.
Well, that one there, you might take him home.
Yeah.
Invite him home for dinner, hey? Some fish tacos.
Fish tacos for dinner. Beautiful little guy.
Well, there you go. Even though the water's pretty dirty out there, we pretty well, you know, we got out, we got to the mouth of the system, we looked for clean water, we looked for bait. We hit a variety of structure to find a variety of species.
Yep.
You got that absolute cracker flatty.
Yeah, it was a good fish.
You're not going to get sitting at home on the couch when the water's dirty like this. You've got to get out, get into it, fish a few plackies, scent up, find some clean water, find some bait, and find those guys.
That's this guy.
Fish on.